Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on this terribly windy, wet, and nasty Pacific Northwest day. Wind's been blowing here like 25, 30 miles an hour. It's a good day to be inside and doing a show. Tell you that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this kind of show from your couch, not a actual show bending reptiles.
yeah. However, I would do that shit every day. But
I know.
yeah, no. Right before I jumped on. I was getting the fire going and stuff. So that's what took me a little bit longer. But yeah, it's definitely like a cozy watch a movie, you know, relaxed day.
It's a get over being sick day. You've been
Yeah.
sick. I've had, and I found out yesterday. Finally, my eye was all swollen for the last few days, so I
Mm.
missed work. Went to the eye doctor, or went to the doctor on Thursday. They said everything's fine. We don't see anything wrong, but we'll refer you to an eye doctor. Meanwhile, my eye was like red, all swollen down to like here.
Mm.
Went in yesterday to the eye doctor, and they were barely even had to look at me, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you have an infection. You have an infected gland in your eye."
Oh
So
shit.
finally on something to make it go away. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
it's
that
fun
time of
when
year.
weird shit pops up. You know.
Oh yeah, no, not fun at all.
No, it's not.
It's so not. I think I would have taken. Well, I would have taken a cold over that weirdness. That was bizarro.
Especially when you have no clue.
But at least it wasn't contagious. That was the part that was really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case here. We all got it.
No, they
Uh,
did say though that my gland, the infected gland, may or may not get smaller, so I may have to have it removed eventually.
that's
Which,
cool.
no, yay. That's not a yay sign.
Well, let's hope that it doesn't happen. So,
Exactly, it's going to go away on its own. Look at all the people hanging out in the chat. Happy Saturday, people in the chat.
happy Saturday. I can't see the chat, so I don't know who's there, but hello to everybody who is there.
Oh, there's a lot of people there,
Okay.
and they're all saying hello to each other.
Good.
The chat is
Having
blowing up.
Hello,
productive
all the people.
conversations.
Ah, we're trying to build our ASF army, Angel. For those of you just joining, we're just hanging out today. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I will
Yeah,
read them.
ask questions. Absolutely. Um,
I will read them so Angel can see them. Kurt's head's halfway up the screen. Get
That's
back
fine.
over here.
Nobody wants to
yeah,
see that anyway.
I got to get some of your ASFs too.
Oh, well, we need to build the army first. We're having a little. We've got it kind of figured out, but right now we're trying some new watering stuff and it's leaking. So,
Yeah, because the ASFs we produce they don't want to drink water. They want to nurse off the moms.
as long as humanly possible.
So we've got these little tiny, what should be weans, but they're like 6 grams.
Mm. And
Because they're
they don't stop, and they're pushing the little ones out of the way.
Yeah,
yep.
they are. So then the
Yeah.
little ones are dying. They're not drinking the water. So now that we've transferred them, we were putting them in the grow out tub, but we always had a few moms in there, which seemed like a great idea until then there were no more moms and we put them in. And then it was sad. We had lots of sad little ASFs running around. But now Kurt has jerry rigged up a new watering system and it's working great for the rats. But the ASFs, the one we put in for the ASFs last night for the first night, apparently is leaking a little bit. So it's not bad, but just got to get it.
Yeah. So what I did
Down.
is I ripped like the rodent water bottles.
Mm.
I just ripped the nozzle portion out and stretched the rodent water line hose over the top of that with a heat gun and some pliers. But the one is just leaking constantly.
Yeah. You can't. There's when you're in this hobby, a lot of people think like, oh, it's like it's very like, oh, get some snakes and just breed them, and you didn't know you're going to be a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter, a
No kidding.
salesman, a marketer, like an artist. Like you have so many so
Web
many hats
designer.
to wear. A design, yeah, web designer, all that stuff, which I'll talk about another time. I'm trying that right now. Whatever. Stay tuned. There's stuff coming. I'm working on a bunch of stuff. Which is why you haven't seen me do anything else. I've been doing a bunch of other shit. Um, but yeah, you have to be a plumber, electrician. You have to do all these different things, and all the while, you're just questioning every step. Did I put that
Yeah.
wire in right? Did I put that hose on right? Is that gonna leak? Is it still like? It's just, for me at least, it's just like paranoia because I have no idea what I'm doing, and then it's working, and then I'm wondering how long it's gonna work for.
Yep. That was the first thing Kurt said this morning. Run out and see how the
Yeah, make sure
baby
it didn't
ASFs are doing.
flood.
They didn't flood. They're on the high point. It's just wet bedding right now. Just turned
It'll
off
be
the
okay.
water. Go out and fix it after this.
I'll just replace the nozzle with a different one, and it'll be good.
That's the thing too. Like when you're breeding these animals, like when you have these, especially with rats, and you're dealing with this, the water setup, whether you're doing bottles, or if you're doing like a gravity, water system, you that gravity system has to be a certain way because sometimes certain levels don't get enough pressure. Obviously, as you go down, but that top level sometimes might not get enough, and it's just going down to one side, and they're not getting enough
Right.
for that water on that end. And so I've had to deal with that a few different times, and it's just, and then sometimes it's working, and it'll be working for months, and then all of a sudden it's not working anymore for whatever reason, and then I find you have to flush the lines, replace the hoses, so you're constantly having to check stuff,
It is very true. If you
We
ever
ordered a Freedom Breeder valve. It reduces the PSI
hmm
to 3 PSI, I think is what it said. And I'm going to run that today after the show probably and get rid of all of our buckets. So the water coming in will just run through that, and then I'll have lines running to all the racks.
hmm
And
so stay tuned.
hopefully that works great
Are you
because
are you going to do it with from the faucet through there to a group of individual, like a kind of like a junction, and then from there?
yeah, so I'm just gonna, well, where it makes sense, I'll tee off
Mhm.
and run to each rack individually.
Have you seen? It's an older video, but Hardwire Exotics, their rodent shed video, how he did his water. He did basically that, and it goes to a kind of like a wall system, and it has each individual kind of valve that goes to each separate
Yeah.
thing.
Yep. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably do like a manifold. Each one will have its own on-off switch, on-off valve, if you will.
I'll shoot you the video. It's, for me, it's just good. It was good to look at and just kind of get a visual, of how, just different ways to do it. I like the way he has it set up.
The questions are rolling in.
There's questions for you in the chat, so get ready, Angel.
Oh, okay.
Question 1. What is your favorite gene combo with vanilla?
With vanilla, probably Orange Dream. Orange Dream is really good. The super vanilla, super orange dream combos they're just incredible.
There's one.
Absolutely incredible.
All right. Next question. Can you show some of your 3D printed products that you have available?
I can. I don't have any set up, but I can get some stuff. Absolutely.
All right, you run and grab some. There was a question up from Billy.
We'll answer another question while you go get your things.
Okay.
Go get your things.
I'll be right back.
Promote yourself.
There it is. What's everyone's? There we go.
There we go.
What's everyone excited about for next season's pairings? Oh man, over here we have so much stuff that we're excited to pair. We're going to be creating a lot of double hets. We have shots at I'm going to call it our main project. In the main project, we've got visual double hets on the coming, so it'll be like hopefully OD, Enchi, Hypo, Het Clowns, and Hypo Het Pieds, stuff like that. And then everything in our Sunset project will be at least Het Sunset, if not double het. So we're going to do Hypo, Clown, Ultramel. So we'll do a lot of double hets there. What are you excited about?
Having eggs again.
Yeah, having eggs in the incubator would be really nice. we're still waiting on one.
I'm at that point. I'm just excited to have eggs in the incubator again. We're waiting on 3 right now. Yes, hypo, Mike. We love hypo everything.
Yeah. Hypo. We want to put hypo in everything we do, and only
Hypo.
it's not. Well, I'm going to say it is probably my favorite. It's my favorite recessive, but it just adds longevity to everything that's a visual hypo. The best way I like to describe it is it's going to look like that for the next 20 years. It's going to look just like this.
My pretty hypo should be ready this year too.
Yep.
We'll see. Hopefully she will be. Hypo the universe is right.
Hypo is
the multiverse.
I was going to say, do you have any exciting pairings that you want to talk about for upcoming?
Yeah, everything.
Right? I said just eggs in the incubator. That's what I'm excited about.
I caught myself last year. I didn't do a lot of pairings last year, and I had a couple clutches that didn't go very well for a few different reasons you guys already know. And I was trying not to like go crazy pairing this year, but I got a couple males that really want to go, and I really want to work those projects a little bit. That's why I'm moving a lot more of or pretty much letting go of all the super stripe stuff. So if anybody's looking for some really nice super stripe stuff, just let me know. I have adults, babies, all of that stuff, really nice, all different combo stuff, leopard and so on.
And you're not kidding when you say they're nice. They're bright.
No, you saw them at the show. They came this year. They were just incredible this year. I don't know. I'm not complaining. But those, and then there's a couple. I have a couple like het clown things that I'm gonna let go to. But I'm leaning really heavy into pied. I have a lot of good pied stuff going on this year. So let's see. And I haven't shown them. You guys saw them, but the Confusion pied babies that I produced, they're just, I don't want to get rid of any of them, but they're just so
they're
nice.
pretty. They're really
I don't blame
pretty.
You.
Nice. And they're so black. All the black parts, they're just so dark. I don't know what it is about how that how Confusion and pied works. It's so random too. It's so random because some of them came out like with a lot of white, and some came out with very little white. So it's so weird. And you guys have one. You guys have one spoken for already. So
very excited about that.
For you.
Yay!
Of course, both of the girls from that one are pain in the neck feeders. Everybody else eats like great, but both of those females, the one I want to keep, the one you guys want to keep, are a pain in the ass.
Well, we're no stranger to that over here.
But at least I know the ones that are a pain are the ones that I'm not letting anybody else get. So I'm good with that.
All right, show us off your 3D printed stuff, sir.
So I make high boxes. I make cup holders. I started making some stuff for chondros, arboreal stuff. And initially I was making stuff for myself, but I really made, I started making a bunch of things. Right now I have a couple different things for like things for pet owners, things for breeders, with the breeders, for me, it was finding hide boxes that fit in those in the tubs, like the VE and the like Freedom Breeders and so on. I prefer using high boxes for babies. I really like using high boxes for babies, and a lot of people do too. But they don't find a lot of them. A lot of the high boxes that you do find out there, they're like this, where you have the hole on the side. But when you have those drawers that open this way, you kind of want one that has, the entrance in the front. So these are all modeled to fit right inside. So the high boxes, and they all come in different colors. And then you got the little pain in the neck. Snakes like to spill the water bowls. We all know about that. Babies like to spill water bowls. So these water bowls here, they don't spill. They taper down at the bottom. The cup sits inside. You snap the cup out, pop the cup back in. These cup holders have saved me so much time. So I make them in different sizes. So you got the 4-ounce, and then I also make it in I have an 8-ounce as well. You can get an 8-ounce one, And again, they do snap inside. They come in 12 ounce. This is my favorite one. It's probably the best one, I think. It's good for smaller snakes right up until adults. They'll fit a 12 ounce cup right inside. I think these are perfect, but if you really, really, really want to get something bigger, you want to really like fill that. You want that 16 ounce cup, the one that you put inside the Freedom Breeder, give you the bigger one here. So this one will hold for 16 ounces. So you can see the difference in size between the 12, the 16, and then this is the 8 ounce. And then this is your 4 ounce. Fits right inside. A tiny 4 ounce. And then I make them on different colors. Make them lots of different colors.
Comment for you there that says, I need some hides for my Freedom Breeder 5.
You need Freedom Breeder 5 hide. I got you right here. So Freedom Breeder hide, this one is a smaller hide. You can see this one is bigger. So this one will fit in like a Freedom Breeder or a Vision, kind of like that Vision rack. As long as I have like the right sizes and such, you know, and then I can make, you know, pretty much any size. And then I also I make the bigger hide boxes too. And these will fit in your medium size Vision. I'm not Vision, your VE. Actually, these will fit in a V18. This will fit in a V18. And it'll also fit in the VE, the middle size VE one as well. But when I make these for the Vision racks, they're shorter. They're about a 1/2 inch shorter because those tubs are shorter. So I do make these and they're just a little shorter because these I think are about 2.5 inches tall. So they would be relatively that size. So they're a little bit shorter. So and
if you have any orders, send them to Angel.
Send them to me.
Instagram.
Absolutely. And then I also have I also make leopard gecko bowls. So if you have leopard geckos or terrestrial geckos that eat you know, worms and stuff, so it's a gecko bowl. You take the little cup out. It has this little ring here. So you can pop out the ring. It'll keep the worms inside. It also sticks to the top. So it snaps off, snap it back on. Everything snaps in. I like snapping stuff. And it has a little bowl right here. You want to put some calcium or vitamin powder, you can put that in there too. There's that. Also,
what colors can you make, Angel?
I have a lot of colors. I have about a dozen different colors. You know, from black to I make these, have like these marble or stone kind of. It's a little hard to see. I make that yellow, pink, violet, blue. I have all different kinds. And then last, I also make I make perches so like different chondro perches. So you can use these for chondros. These fit in shoe boxes. This will fit in a shoe box. And as well as that, I also make shipping perches. So anybody who ships arboreal snakes, if you're shipping chondros, if you're shipping sanzinias, if you're shipping Amazon tree boas, you're shipping any kind of arboreal snake. Let's be honest, they're not cheap. You're gonna buy a chondro, you're gonna spend $2,000 for a chondro, and you're gonna ship it in a container on a chopstick or a pencil or like. Like, I don't know, like I'm sorry, but I want to open a box and be like, oh wow, cool, number 2 pencil. That's that. I don't know. To me, I felt like they deserve something a little better from the breeder to the consumer to the customer. I think the animal itself deserves a little bit better in that container. It's stressful. These animals stress out. So with this, it's a perch. It fits right inside of your container. It'll snap right in. The animal will sit comfortably right on that perch. It doesn't move. It's not going to move around. They sit right there. It's been tested. I have a couple friends that have shipped out chondros, and they made it perfect all the way onto the other side. No problem. I have that size. I also make them in a smaller size if you have smaller animals to ship. And I have it in all different size tubs. So whatever size tub you do ship in, just let me know. I also do some custom orders too. And there's that, and there's a whole bunch more stuff I'm going to be releasing soon. That's my spiel.
It was a very good spiel. We now have a foot pedal to turn the microphone on and off, and it keeps getting stuck on this cord below me. Also, Nellie was snoring so loud we had to mute the microphone because I was laughing too hard.
I get that. And if anybody wants to order anything, just shoot me a message. The best place is Instagram. So you can just shoot me a message on Instagram and just tell me what you want. And yeah, I'll work it out.
Here's what it says in the comments. Jamie loves the gecko bowls. She does. She made a great video about your gecko bowls. And Mike said that he's heard your perches work very well.
Thank you. Yeah, Dylan from These Balls and Exotics and Tucker from Purple Rain Reptiles. They both shipped chondros on with them, and I've had no problems. I also make little chondro perches for little baby neos. Little hooks. I make little tiny hooks for neos.
Which are very popular with the children.
Yes, kids love them at the shows.
At expos.
They love them at the shows.
They do. Thorin has his. He loves it.
Everybody
Very much. Oh my goodness. Kurt's working on getting shed off of a snake. The dog has stopped snoring over here.
That's good.
I'll show you the snake here in a little bit.
You guys got something. You guys got something cool.
We've got some fun stuff. Well, this is a good time. We don't have that snake out, but let's do this. Our unofficial episode sponsor is Lindworm Exotics.
Wow.
So if you are not following them, got to go follow Larry and Randall. We got a Dumerils boa from them who is in a cage behind us right here. Took him out this morning. He's amazing. He's friendly. He's adorable. He has a smiley face on his forehead.
Dumerils are great.
Yeah.
Can't ask for anything more.
They hook trained him.
Yes, he's so cool. He's such a good boy. Of course, he had to be named after something Halloween, since Halloween is the thing in our house these days, and his name is Nibbles, like the animatronic clown. Google it later, everybody. You'll thank me.
Dumerils are cool. They're a cool snake. I love the way they look. Sometimes they have that pinkish color in them.
He's really cool. He's a good boy. He is a good boy. We're going to try feeding him for the first time tonight under our watch. Our rainbow boas are doing well. They both had their first shed with us and are enjoying their ASFs very much. So that's our excitement. Did you know the names of our rainbow boas? We did not name them. Kurt's brother named them. They're wonderful. You don't know them?
Yeah.
Roberta and Richard.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
that was all Matt. Roberta and Richard.
I like it.
The snake that Kurt is holding is staring at me like it wants to bite me. There's a thing going on over here at our house where everything seems to want to bite me. So.
Oh, I think it's in the water here in Washington because these guys got some attitude.
We got that snake from the Royals Project at the last expo, and she's beautiful and she's huge and was nice. And then we took her out to clean. It's looking at me. We took her out to clean her the other day, and Kurt was laughing at me and asking what I was doing because I was being extra careful. And I was like, she's looking at me funny. So I was holding her and I gently tapped her head, and usually that works. And I gently tapped her head and she just turned around and put her mouth on my hand. Well, that's weird. So then that stopped and didn't leave any marks. It was just bizarre. And then when Kurt was looking the next time, she just turned around and started biting me.
Nailed her 2 more times. Like that.
Like that, right there. See? Just shouldn't be allowed to be around things. Kurt, you have to lean in because I'm not coming over there. You keep him, him away from me.
Pull him away from you.
It's a baby.
I gotta get the shed off you, buddy.
See, everything wants to bite me.
But you know what's
It-
weird though? Some of the ones that were like really aggressive, or not, I don't want to say aggressive, but some of the ones that were more prone to bite, they don't do. They're not so bad. Like which one was it? Um, one of my big girls that has always been very much like, please don't touch me. Lately has been like, don't care, just doesn't care, does not care. That one wants a piece of you though.
It does. Do you see it?
That one wants a
It's
piece
just
of you.
gonna give you a little kiss.
following. It's following
That was
me.
tracking me.
Most time when you get this far down on the shed, they're like, "Oh, okay, you're just here to help," but not him.
He's getting grumpier, but he's not going after Kurt. It's me.
He knows who the real enemy is.
It's me. I'm the enemy. Yay. Lucky me.
I'll tell you though, we mentioned the shows and stuff, but we got what, Puyallup is January, so we got a little bit of time before that one.
Not too long though.
No, not too long, but got a little bit of time.
Yeah, right around the corner. It's what, 6 weeks?
Shh, don't say
Really?
it like
Already? No,
No,
no way.
if you-
No,
no,
8
no,
weeks.
we're way farther out than that. We're like-
It's the middle of January. It's already the middle of November. So yeah, 8 weeks.
All right, so this snake that wants to eat me, we got from the Bosa auction on Keys and Wiz's channel on the Whiskey Bomb Network. It's really staring
So
at me.
this is something that we were talking about getting eventually to put into our sunset stuff.
Did you tell Angel about this one?
I did.
That we ended up getting it? Oh, yeah. Okay. It's from Mile High Mutations. And it's a pastel NR Mandarin clown. It's very
Ooh.
handsome.
Once
You
I get
can't
him,
see it.
once I get him
We'll
out of
take a
here,
picture eventually.
I'll
Maybe
show
he'll
him.
bite you through the camera. You never know.
Great.
Yeah. So NR Mandarin.
enough out here.
What was that?
He's got enough bites over there.
Oh.
Over here.
Anyway, he's a beautiful but feisty boy.
Yeah, this is something that we had talked about really wanting to add
He's gonna bite
into
you
sunset. You can bite me. It's
He's
fine.
a good eater.
I got to get your shed off.
Very handsome.
But
We
How
are
many
all-
happy people are working with Sunset. You just can't. Again, like I always say, every gene has its place. Every gene can do something. Every gene
And it's
can.
in our shack.
And I think people kind of like wrote it off way too quick. And I'm glad people.
James asked if we're vending. We're all vending Puyallup. Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
We'll all be there.
Yep.
Thanks, Aaron. We love him. He doesn't love me, but maybe he'll love Kurt.
I doubt it.
He's very handsome. From over here.
Like, as long as he does the job, right? Like, let's just
Yeah.
do the job. You want to bite? That's okay. Do the job. We don't have to be friends.
He's coming after you now. At least he's not turning towards me anymore. For now. No. So our afternoon will be filled with fixing up the water, fixing the ASF water, feeding some snakes, and then trying not to blow away in the wind. Is it super windy down at your house? Because it's awful up here.
It was. I think it's coming. I think it's probably on its way, because it usually gets really windy over here too, because I'm right by the water, so it usually gets pretty windy over here, but I don't know. I feel like I was watching some stuff during the week, and like it almost feels like there wasn't a whole lot going on this week with stuff, but there was and there wasn't. Like for me, it was just maintenance as usual. Like I wasn't really doing a whole lot, but I was just trying to figure out like different pairings and whatnot. But I think for the most part, I'm really gonna move a bunch of different things. I do have a bunch of big girls and so on that I want to let go of, but I'm gonna make some harsh decisions and let some go. I'm just really not. I guess I'm sentimental. I just keep a lot of stuff because I bred it, I raised it, you know, or like I hatched it, I raised it, and I may have bred it, and then I don't want to get rid of it.
Well, he needs more of his shed taken off, and he may or may not bite me. But let's see if I can do this with my left hand and make us bigger now. If I disappear, it's because I don't know what I'm doing with one hand. You see him?
Yeah, he's nice.
Yep. See if it'll focus. Don't get me. Seeking his revenge upon me right now. Yep. Oop. I'll make myself not big because if I get bitten,
Has
it'll
he
be really
eaten for you
funny.
yet?
Has he what?
Has he eaten for you guys yet?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
He has. He's a good eater, hence the feisty attitude.
Gives us some excuse to use our incubator.
So anyway, he's soaking in some water in the incubator, which is a good spot for him to stay nice and cozy.
I finally moved the majority of my stuff in here. My incubator's right here now. It's right behind me. It's right back there. So I moved everything out of that room. So everything is pretty much in the garage now. All the stuff is in here now. So it makes so much. It's just so much easier. Like the rats are right here. The snakes are right there. Like boom, boom. Everything is. It's all right there. I don't have to worry about going anywhere else. I also don't have to worry about walking through the house with a bucket of rats. That I hated.
And that's kind of nice.
I hated doing that. Well, because I got to walk through the living room, to this, to the hallway, and then into the snake room with a bucket of rats. I'm just always like, God, now the house smells like rats for a second. I don't like it. So now everything is in here.
Key says I shouldn't get bitten by a snake unless it's on camera. Yeah. The other day when I got bitten by the big girl, that was a funny one because it was funny for both of us as it happened.
And it was a slow motion bite. Weird. She just turned. I was just trying to do a quick bin change on her. We're trying to get a weight. We weren't even going to mess with ultrasounding or anything like that. And I looked back, and Nikki, within 2 seconds, had been bitten twice.
Have you guys ultrasounded yet this year?
Yes, multiple times.
Yeah, most of the stuff here is at 8 millimeters or higher. Like it's ready to go. Our males, on the other hand, are not because they're small. Like our super pastel puzzle male, he's only like 300 grams. He's not going to go this year.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of males that were like whatever last year. This is the first year I went early. I thought I'd pair early because the summer or toward the end of the summer, beginning of the fall, it was really rainy. We had a lot of rain, and I was like, let's see what happens. There wasn't a lot going on at first, and then I just kind of messed around a little bit and just paying attention. I was just watching them, just watching the males, and then I do my trick when I put the males together.
Right.
All these males together and like let them push each other around a little bit, and then I don't know. It kind of worked this year a bit, I think, because I went in and there were males last year that they were like, okay, all right, what am I doing in here now? Like looking around, like,
oh, this water
just hanging
good.
out.
Yeah, they didn't do shit. And this year, I put them in, and no joke, I went to check on them a couple hours later, and they were ready, like, because I used the semi-clear tubs, and you could see them, cruising around. And I have one female. I put a male in with her, and I didn't breed her last year. I don't even think I bred her the year before. And I put this male in there with her, and I just heard a thump, and she had her tail straight up in the air, and she was swishing, like sliding her tail and smacking the walls, and I was like, oh shit, she's ready to go, dude. Let's go. Like, she's ready to go, and she's a proven breeder and everything, and I've never seen her do this before. I've seen other females do this, but she was like sliding, slapping her tail everywhere, sauntering all through this thing, like, whoo, she was.
really getting her peacock on.
She was getting it going. I was like, oh shit. I'm aging myself. If anybody knows who Mae West is, if you go back and think about them old 50, 40 old movies, that's what she reminded me of. And I was just like, oh shit, girl, get it. Get yours. Go get it. Go get it. Yo, go get it. You know? And I checked on them later and they were working. So and that's a pairing I've been waiting for. So let's see what happens. You know. So it seems like this year the males woke up, and I don't know if it was because I threw them in a little early. I don't know if it was because it was so, you know, the pressure was so, you know, so much because it was raining like crazy, you know. And I moved everybody. Remember, I just moved everybody. I wasn't thinking anybody was going to go at all because, you know, I was like, well, I just moved them from one area to another. They're in completely different setups because they were in one thing. Now they're in the freedom breeder. Like everybody got moved into different environments, and I didn't think, you know, I didn't think anything. Everybody ate. They don't seem to have any problems breeding, so I'm not complaining. You know, I'll take it.
No, and something that we stopped by Dylan's a couple weeks ago, and after we left, we came back home and completely restructured how our tubs, basically our rack, where we placed our males and females, because we had our females on the bottom just because it's easier. Our males are more docile. They're less likely to strike at us than our females. But when we were talking with Dylan, he goes, you should probably put your males on the bottom like I have it, because the temperatures on the bottom will be a couple degrees less, and that will help with their breeding and reproduction success. So we did a complete change. Now all the females are up top and they're on the bottom two rows.
We had never thought about that.
That's the pro tip for free of the day right there.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. That's how I keep all my shit. All my males are always on the bottom. When you come next time, like if you come over, all of my males they're all on the bottom of the racks. And one thing about that, and you could do it two different ways. You know, you can do it where the bottom, especially if you have, let's say, like a freedom breeder, where you have individual, you know, level, you could take those bottom two and put them on a completely different thermostat and have that, you know, have your males down there at a different temperature, a slightly lower temperature, or just put your thermostat probe, you know, in a certain area where those bottom ones won't be as warm. And that's how I do it. I've always kept my males at the bottom, because if they get too hot, it will kill the sperm.
Yeah, that's something we didn't even think about. We were just like, okay, how is this easy for us? And wrong.
You'll see a difference. I bet you'll see a difference in your males when you keep them on the bottom and keep them cool. I bet you'll see a difference.
I sure hope so.
We're hoping so. We had enough slugs last year where hopefully that'll make a difference.
I bet you'll see a difference. You know, obviously you're not keeping them cold, but a few degrees cooler
makes a huge difference.
I find there's a big difference. You know.
Another topic that has been floating around recently, since it's the beginning of breeding season, is females that are larger than what you normally would breed. So people that were talking said they have had very little success breeding animals that are like 3,500 plus grams. And the majority of the successful breedings have been like 2,500 and less.
I don't know. I can't really like speak on that. I have big girls and they breed, but I think it depends on how you're feeding. So I think if you have a 3,500 gram girl and you're feeding weekly, I think that's too much. And this could be, look, this is something that's always been like a topic in the industry for a really long time is, you know, how do you feed? Do you feed once a week? Do you feed every other week? You know, and if you do every other week, are you feeding big meals every other week as opposed to, personally, I feed moderately. You know, you've seen the way my adults look. They're not overweight and they're not skinny. I keep everybody kind of, you know, not trim, but like, I don't know. I feel like I've had big girls, and they give me like 4 or 5 eggs. And then I've had other girls smaller than that are on the trim side. They'll give me 8, 9 eggs, and I'm like, I don't even know where those came from, you know. But there are there's other people they're like, I feed my females once a month. I feed my females every other week. Everybody's gonna do things differently, but I think for the most part, the way these animals work, the way biologically how they work, smaller meals after a certain point, obviously that first year, babies want to get big, their food, they don't want to get eaten. So if you want to feed once a week, feed them once a week. After a year and a half, go every other week, small rat, medium rat, that's fine. 10, 20 years ago, there was all that power feeding shit where you get your females, it doesn't matter how old she is, just get her 1,500 grams. You can do that do it in a year and a half, 2 years, get her 1,500 grams and she'll breed. There's truth to that, yes. Is she healthy? I don't think so.
Yeah, now like Miguel has been, um, he's been breeding when they're ready. So if they're 2 years old, 900 grams, growing follicles, he's been pairing and he's been having good success. So is he letting out an industry secret that the other guys aren't putting out there and pushing that get your animals huge, make them as big as you can make them, and they're really behind closed doors doing exactly what Miguel's been doing, where
I
900
don't know.
grams start the pairing, then you get
know.
up to 12, 1,300 grams by the time the eggs come out.
I know that you can, when an animal's ready to breed, it's going to breed. Now, it's up to us to decide whether it's safe for this animal to breed. Now, I think about the ball pythons. Fine, 900 grams, 1,000 grams, 1,200 grams. You're not getting eight eggs. You're not getting an 8 egg clutch from that girl. You'll get 3, 4. Is it not healthy for her? I can't say that. I don't know, but I and this might be a horrible comparison, but a, a 14-year-old, 12-year-old human child can sometimes have the potential to have children as well. Is it healthy for them to do so? I don't. These are all questions. Now I know we're talking about two different types of animals, but I do think giving the females a little bit more time to grow uh, is better for them. I also used to breed leopard geckos, and there was always this like, oh, at this size, you could breed the females, but those females at that size, they're breedable, but they will get egg bound. Like leopard geckos will get egg bound. If that female's not big enough, the eggs don't change. Is it like a leopard gecko egg is? I've had big females and little females, and those eggs are always the same fucking size. And I've had I've had leopard gecko females that weren't ready. That's how I learned. And they produced eggs and they got egg bound. And I was like, well, I thought they could produce that X amount. I think it was like 45 to 65 grams or something like that. And after a while, I'm like, I'm not breeding these things unless they're 65 plus. They got to be bigger than that. And after that, I didn't have any more issues. But at the time, it was the early 2000s, everything was about weight. That's when we found out, like, oh, breed your females at 1,500 grams, ball pythons. Breed your leopard geckos. They have to be 65 grams or so. Like, we were always, it was a weight game, Get them to be this big and you can breed them. Boom, you're done. And can you? Yeah. Should you? Again, I don't know. I won't do it with leopard geckos, that's for sure. You know, but I don't know. Is that female then at 900 grams that produced those 3 or 4 eggs? Is she okay to breed next year or the year after? Is she gonna go egg
Yeah.
bound the following year if you try it again? Is she gonna meet weight? 900, 1,200 gram female is not going to meet weight. But if you're power feeding and like, I don't know. To me, it really depends. And then I think it also depends on the animal's physiology, because we all know that you can have siblings, feed them the same amount of food, and one gets bigger than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in regards to that, we're on the ASF train. Like we're trying to get everything we can to eat an ASF, and I know that the industry's kind of against it, but I don't. We over here don't see the big deal. It's like I would much rather feed an ASF over a mouse. Like I mean, we've all heard the nightmare stories about ball pythons, carpet pythons, boas getting stuck on mice.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather have something stuck on an ASF than a mouse. At least an ASF has a good like protein to fat to nutrient or compared to a mouse. Like the industry says mice don't provide hardly anything, and it's like eating a piece of candy.
Yeah, but like on top of that too, ASFs don't smell.
Yeah, it's
Right.
so
Like,
true.
there's to me, I almost feel like we should push more for ASFs, but I also know why we don't, because they're fucking nasty, man. Like they're hard to deal with, and I think that's the biggest problem. It's not so much that snakes get stuck on them, because who gives a shit if they're stuck on them if they're available, but a lot of people don't want to work with them because they're nasty.
And it's the if they're available part, because they're not available in some states, right?
Yeah,
Not
then
available.
you bring in the
Yeah.
debate of legality
Mhm.
and whether you call them field mice or deer mice or, you know,
They're ASFs.
they're at the end of the day they're still ASFs and
Mhm.
illegal in half the states.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but again, I understand, you know, but again, when it comes to whether they're going to eat something or not, I don't think that's as big of a deal as it used to be, because I've had ASF feeders go on rats, go on ASF back mice. It, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it comes down to how you feed. Because if you're going to open the tub, drop it in and walk away, that might not work.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to thaw something out and hold it, that might not work. You know, there's like, I do the thing where I make that shit look alive. Like, Rhoda goes in, pokes its head in, pokes it out, poke it in, out, do a lot of that teasing shit, make them run away, come back. The snakes are like, oh, they get all interested on, and after a while, they don't even give a shit what it is. They just want to bite it.
The frozen thawed hokey pokey.
Yeah, they just want to bite that shit. They're like, oh, what is that? What was that? It smelled like something. I'm gonna eat. Like, and if you mess with them enough, you know, you'll get that strike. You'll get that strike, and they'll go. Does it take time? Yes, it does. But if you're gonna do this and you want to do this professionally, or make some, then you got to take some time. Just take the time. That's it. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. You know, some of these
Yep.
guys are a big pain in the ass, and some of them are like, damn it, you're worth like 10 grand, man. Fucking eat, please. Would you eat?
And it's usually those that are the biggest pain in the butt. And then like my friend's Normal, she's huge. He'll throw a medium rat for her and just, frozen thawed and set it on top of her hide, and it comes back in 2 minutes and it's gone.
You feeling fucking a ballpark Frank? He'll eat that shit. They don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care.
A lukewarm ballpark Frank, and they'd hammer
Yeah,
that thing down.
man. You don't get. You give them a fucking gourmet rat from a thing heated up perfectly, just right. You're doing the dancing frog, making this shit look like it's alive. It's like, oh god, I don't. Fuck out of here, man.
Heaven
Right.
forbid you touch them with it,
Good
then it all
God.
goes downhill.
Good
Looks like the
God,
Warner
like-
Brothers dancing frog coming
Yeah,
in.
like you can't you can't touch them. You got 19 genes in you. Not one of them is a fucking eater. Like I don't understand. What the hell is wrong with you? Eat this. Oh my god, what do you want? Like they're so annoying sometimes. You know, and then you'll get them eating and they're growing, they're looking great, and then they fucking stop, and you're like,
Yeah. Yep.
What
That's when we hit him with
now?
Da Vinci Boa.
Yeah.
Da Vinci Boa, and they're like, I don't want that.
Yeah, they
They're
fight.
literally-
They fight you on that too.
They are literally like the brats of the snake world. Fucking ball pythons, pain in the ass. They're lucky they're cute. So lucky you're
They're
cute.
cute.
Yeah.
They're cute. They're pleasant. Unless you're that one that's out in the shack right now that wants to eat me.
they're most of the time they're easy to deal with.
Even like some of the nasty ones, like they do chill out after a while. You know, I've had a couple, and I don't handle nearly as much as I used to, and I've had a couple like recently. They're just like, fine, I'll cut the shit. And it's like, all right, finally, jeez, I could pick you up now. Like, thanks, you know.
And I'm sure ours is just ferocious because she's building.
Yeah,
wants
which
to eat
we have to ultrasound her, and
all the time.
we're not looking forward to that. I think we're going to do that after this with a towel over her head, like that bamboo that I. So I got a bamboo pastel het puzzle girl, 2.5 years ago, and I had to go in there with a washcloth over top of her and hold her for 2 hours a night for like 2.5 weeks straight, so she would stop striking at everything. And now she's all right. That she's 1,500 grams, but that first year was rough. I think that's the first snake that I ever got bit by.
There's some that like. The other day I was just casually like opening tubs and checking shit out. I got some cobras that I'm like, what the fuck? Where are you going? Where you like? I opened the tub and they came run out. And I'm like, where the hell are you going? like behavior. Like some of them do weird, odd behaviors that they never did before. Like some of them, you open, they'll stick their head out a little bit, and and I do that. I'll just open the tubs and I'll just let them come out. But the other day I had one. I was just like not paying attention. I just like open it, and she just like, and I was just like, oh shit, like right in my face. I'm like, where are you going? Like almost falling out. Like she was just ready to come out, and like, and then I go to pick her up, and she's like, and I'm like, oh okay, you're hungry. All right, that's cool. Like that's the weirdest hungry move I've ever seen. But go ahead.
Yeah, my favorite is the slow motion, wide open mouth, and they just barely move at all, but they just keep coming out with their mouth wide open.
I don't know what is going
wiggling.
On. They're just
yeah.
Ours have been doing that lately too. So everybody's hungry, and that's just the way it is that time of year, I guess.
And Billy says he has a couple females that are stuck on very small prey. We do too. Like if we can get them to eat anything that's like a small size, we're amazed. When that's part of the reason why we were wanting to switch over to ASFs, to everything that'll eat them, because for the size, you get more nutrients and protein and everything out of an ASF.
Plus,
that's the same size.
The mice stink so bad. We do not have mice anymore.
Yeah,
all of our mice are gone.
I'm glad my mice are gone. I liked them. I liked keeping them.
Yeah.
I thought they were fun. I had all these different color ones and shit. Like they were cool and they bred like crazy and they did well. But the maintenance, the shit's in my garage, man. Like I could smell it in the house. I don't smell the rats in the house at all. I have the filter system. You've seen how I have it. I have all these air filters and stuff. You can't smell anything. No way all this shit would work with mice. There's no way.
No
way.
No, we like the mice too because they would produce so quickly, where ASFs are just so much slower right now, but they're finally picking up. It's because we started so many new colonies when we switched over, but oh my gosh, they don't stink.
Who was it that said that their females are stuck on small prey?
It was Billy.
Don't worry about it. I always tell people don't worry about it. I don't think ball pythons aren't really meant to eat big ass meals. Keep them on small rats. I know that's weird. I have big girls. I prefer small rats, mediums, tops, and they do great. The thing that I've noticed is you give these animals a big meal, they're just gonna have a huge shit. They don't keep it all. They don't use it all. They just don't. Like you give them a small meal, they use as much as they need. They pass the rest. It's not that bad.
It's true. No doubt they'll poop and it'll be right in their water dish too.
Right in the water dish.
At least it's easy to clean if it's in the water dish.
It's true. It's just gross.
But gross. That's just how I've been over the past few years. Because in the beginning I was doing the same shit because that's what I was told. Feed them big meals, get them big, blah blah blah. And I noticed I had problems. I had all these different problems, but I've been doing this same method for probably close to 10 years. My girls grow the same amount of, and then, you know, if they don't make it for that third season, they don't fucking make it. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. You know, they're gonna grow at the pace that they need to. Everybody gets fed the same shit, and I got monster girls that grow crazy on the same food, and
Yep.
then and I'll breed them. And I've had girls that are like 12, 1300 grams that it's now this time of the year and they're ravenously feeding. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to take that as a sign as you want to breed. I'm going to continue to feed you. I'm not feeding you any bigger meals, but every now and then I might throw you an extra, you know, rat every now and then. But what I notice is even though I don't change my feeding, you know, those females that are 1200 grams, and I'm feeding them same amount regularly, small rats, same thing that they've been getting once a week, once every other week, however, you know, I was feeding them, they'll start bulking up. And it's almost like it's almost like their body switches on this thing where they're like, okay, the food intake that I'm getting, I'm going to start really using it to grow versus using it for whatever and then passing the rest. But I don't think feeding a larger meal is really the way to go either, because they're only going to still absorb as much as they need. And then all the rest is just poop. So save your money. Feed
Right.
smaller rats. You know, and if you're breeding rats, pull small ones or freeze them. They don't need to be medium size, because you're gonna feed a lot more food to the rats. It's a lot more bedding, it's a lot more time, a lot more water, a lot more lot. If you are growing just up to smalls, you're gonna produce a lot more faster. You're gonna have a lot more food, and I guarantee your animals are not gonna grow any slower than they were before. Keep them on smalls. I'm not talking weans. Like, feed your snakes, you know. You got a big girl though, give her a medium. That's fine, you know. But it's not necessarily like you can like. I think small meals are great.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
We would
read
agree.
your animal. Read your animal. If that female ate a small 2 days ago and she's looking like she wants something else, like, give her another one. And that's why it's okay. To me, that's why I feel like it's okay, because if you fed a medium and that girl's looking like she wants more, you're not going to give her another meal. Like, that's a lot. That's a bit much, you know. But a small, I'll throw you another small after a couple days, and I'll still give you another one when it's feeding time. You know, like if that girl is still interested, and I just happen to see that she's like waiting for another one, and it's in the middle of feeding, and you know, I'll throw you another one, and I'll still offer you another. And if you take that one too, fine, go ahead, you know. But I won't throw an extra one, you know, in the middle of the week again. Like, I'll wait. You know, again, I just kind of like watching them, and that's why I like having the small, you know, in comparison to a lot of other breeders. I like having a small collection of females and animals to really like keep an eye on, because they are individual. They do their own things.
You know what you're gonna have to do, Angel? One day you're gonna have to go and show us your rack.
I will.
You gotta show me your rack.
I'll tell you, right?
Yeah, you got all kinds of stuff hiding in there that nobody knows about.
I know. I don't stop.
You're just about as bad as we are.
Yeah,
You got it all tucked away.
I showed you guys.
you did.
You did.
But one
And
day,
that's why Nikki's calling it out.
with Lace and I, to show me your rack.
Yeah.
Do you know you get to watch the first episode tomorrow morning? Our first episode's on. We pre-recorded it. It's going to air as a premiere tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time.
I'll do it.
Got to hang out while Evan shows us his rack.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's cute. And I want to see. I want to see. You know, because people, it's fun. You know, it's a fun thing. That's the thing about this hobby too. Is like we love showing people shit. We love sharing.
Yep, it's nice too. It's just half an hour, 30 minutes of seeing what's inside people's racks and their main project and what they're excited about. So tune in tomorrow morning. Hang out with us in the chat.
Yeah, it gives everybody an opportunity to talk about, you know, what they like in their project, what they don't like in their project. And that, you know, that includes what they have. Like for us over here, we have a ton of pastel stuff. But we like pastel, you know, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's what we like. So why not? It's all about trying to figure out how to make it work.
Also, we're only having episodes every other week for now, so
Okay.
makes it easier.
Yeah, I'll show my rack. Why not?
Okay, good.
I just
We're
never
glad
shown
you
it.
will.
I never showed a lot of this stuff before, but now it's fine because now everything is where I want it to be. So now I don't care. That's fine. And I just don't film over there because I don't fit over there. Like I want to be comfortable when I'm sitting. It's a little tight over there.
Well, we'll have fun. We hope that you'll watch it tomorrow morning. Oh my God, it's coming after me. It's really seeking me out. He took the snake back out, and it's like shooting out towards me. Like, I need a wall right here. I haven't even been out in the rats today at all. Oh my gosh. It just loves me.
Did you notice 15 minutes of lame is going on too?
Oh, right now?
Can vote.
Yeah, you got a lot of
I
good
didn't know.
competitors on there this year.
It's gonna be a tough
It's
one.
gonna be really tough.
Yeah, I'm not. I guess I'm not lame enough.
No, it's okay.
I'm okay.
Either are we.
We
But
just like
that's
watching,
cool.
I'm okay.
cheering people on.
I don't. It's too much work for me. I'm not doing it. That's a lot of work. You know, I like to be left alone for the most part.
We know you do.
Yeah, we're lame in our own way. We don't need 15 minutes. We got all day.
We got an hour. We got an hour of lame every week. We're good. I'm lame here in the house. I'm lucky my wife thinks I'm funny. That's all that matters.
Right.
My
Same
son
here.
funny, so that's it.
That's good enough. That counts for all the things.
Listen, when you have a son who's into like cartoons, video games, and all the same shit you do, then like
It's pretty fantastic, right?
It's easy that way. It's easy. You know, he's into the same shit I'm into, so it's. And I didn't do that on purpose. He keeps coming up to me with shit, and I'm like, yeah, I like that too. He's like, you know about this? I'm like, yeah, I know about that. Yep. Yep. I didn't want to say anything. I tried. I don't want to feed him a lot. I like watching him discover shit. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Just make it more fun.
Like we just finished watching Owl House. You know.
Oh, I love Owl House.
Oh my
we
god,
love Owl House over here.
What an amazing cartoon! He loved it. He loved it. So, you know, things like that.
Gravity Falls. You got to check out Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I need him to be a little older because man, Bill Cipher is fucking scary.
That triangle-shaped demon.
I don't need my son getting up in the middle. Oh, Bill Cipher's coming to get me. Like, no.
Even scared to write triangles.
Even though he's pretty good, like nothing really scares him. He's pretty good. But he sleeps in a pitch black room every night. Good night. Shut the lights off. He doesn't care. He has no fear, and that's fine.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the one that I had to pull back on was Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a little inappropriate in a lot of ways.
Yeah. The first
you know that creepy uncle, the Ice King.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. It's like that thing. It's like it's not so bad. They're not gonna really get it, but I don't know if I want them to see it just yet because I don't really want to have to answer these questions right now.
Exactly. There's a lot of questions.
Like,
Daddy, why is the Ice King capturing all the princesses?
Yeah, like there's, you know, a couple things popped up here and there with Owl House, but that's fine. We talked about it and he was fine.
It's not like Adventure Time. Things would be the whole time.
I would have to be explaining everything. It's a trip. That show is a trip. And I haven't even watched a lot of it. I've seen a few episodes, but that shit is a trip.
Like Tree Trunks, the clown, inappropriately hitting on Finn. Or not the clown, she's an elephant.
There's this. But like Gravity Falls, though, has that creep factor that I think that, I don't know, I have to explain to him, you know. But again, great cartoon. Absolutely.
I love Gravity Falls. I love our random conversations and where they take us. You know, next week we're having Holly and Tyler on. So we're having Texoma Exotics and then Tyler's Toxic Balls. And then the last week of this month, we're going to have Husbandry Pro on.
That's cool.
Talk about the new stuff coming up.
That's cool.
It's already out, but the new features you can use.
I want to see. I don't use Husbandry Pro. Again, I'm very old, and I like not.
You like your paper. That's okay.
However, we all know these things are going to change because I just got a new laptop, so I'm really trying to change my life and put everything into that fucking thing. I'm trying to do and catch up with all the things that I need to catch up with. So
Well, if you need help, we're happy
You
to
gotta
help you.
you gotta get on the husbandry pro wagon for sure.
I might. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, if you
It's
need
where it's
help,
at.
I just keep saying it. We'll help you.
Yeah, we know where
Anybody
you
else out
live
there, if you need help,
because it is a little bit of a learning curve. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot of it.
I'm still learning.
But once you get it down, it's so much. It makes your life easier.
I'm going to do a reel every Monday about something different on Husbandry Pro. I already have it ready, but tomorrow's not Monday; it's Sunday, and you have to watch Show Me Your Rack. So
I think we
Have to wait
have
for
seen
real.
Steven Universe. I don't think we've watched a whole ton of it.
I've never seen it.
That's another one. It's
It's a
really
Cartoon
good.
Network one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really good. We started watching it when he was really young, so he doesn't remember it. So I'm gonna start it over. I really appreciate that one. That's a really good one.
Well, we're gonna have to check it out because I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's cool.
We didn't have cable television growing up. We had an
They lived
antenna,
under a large rock.
so I don't know what most of any of these things are. It was a nice rock. It was. It was comfy.
Good.
Now I have 90 some snakes and or more, and
It's
don't live
91.
under a rock anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that's the
count.
nice thing about Husbandry Pro. You can see how much of an addict you are because it'll tell you exactly how many animals you have on your list.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't get it.
The other really nice thing is now that every time I feed something, Kurt goes, "Did you put it in Husbandry Pro?" I go, "No." I'll go back and do that. So I've got to get used to doing it.
Yep.
It's
Yep, and we'll get into more of the stuff when Zach's on with us. But they have a lot of cool features they're adding as they go. They're doing a revamp to try to make it a little bit easier for everybody.
I really like being able to print out the labels once we got the formatting right. That was
Yeah.
amazing because now we have all our bin identifier cards that we were handwriting and putting in the little sleeves and Velcroing on. Now we just have them printed out and put in the little sleeves.
Yep, and
Makes it so good.
your sale label will all generate. You can do the same thing.
It's a
I
QR
have a-
code that you put
Yep,
on.
Yeah.
there's QR codes. You can have the pictures of the animal print out. I mean,
We have a QR code and then the genetics
look
and
at this guy go. He does not want me to finish
Sex.
de-shredding him.
no.
Is it like is the QR code and picture, are they the same size that you print out every time, or you have to cut, or can you customize the size of your QR code?
You
You
can
can
customize everything on the labels you printed out.
And that's what Kurt did.
Okay.
Made them fit on there all nice and pretty.
Yeah, so Dymo has cardstock labels.
Oh, God. Did you see what Rich said? Yes, Rich. He's had it for years and can't sit down to put 380 animals in. No, we understand that. Kurt spent 2 weeks putting 90 in, so I cannot imagine.
Yeah, I do have to say though, if you do have Husbandry Pro and you sell an animal, make sure you go in and delete it. Do not
Don't archive
archive it.
It'll never go away.
It never goes away, and you can never remove it.
Really? If you archive something, it'll.
Don't
I wonder if they'll
archive it.
update it. They got to update that though, because that just
Nope.
takes up too much.
That's
No.
how the code is.
It
So,
can stay.
and the reason they do that is if you sell a female and you have a bunch of babies that it produced, or a male, it'll stay archived, and all the babies and the sire and dame info will stay in there.
But it's really driving Kurt nuts.
But I
That
keep
part.
looking at two that I archived, and I'm going, man, I wish I could get rid of you guys.
It's like seeing a notification.
I would
and
rather
having to
just
click it.
put the like the genetics information in for the sire and dame, and not have the animals sitting in my Husbandry Pro.
Yeah, it's like having that like looking at your message. It says 1, you open it up, there's nothing there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yes.
But everything else is really, really nice. That is my only complaint. And it gets rid of, because we were having all the sticky notes and stuff fall off, and
Oh yeah, because when we
It
alter
gets rid of
sound,
that
we
mess.
put a sticky note on. Then you clean the bin, so you take the sticky note off and stick it on a different bin. Then the sticky notes would fall off. They'd go under the rack. It was
Right.
fun.
you'd put them on the wrong tub, and you're like, which one is which now?
So if you were thinking about using Husbandry Pro and you haven't started yet,
And you don't have
and
400
you don't
animals.
have 400 animals like Rich, start now.
Even rich. Just do it a little bit
Start
at a time.
now.
And it has a really nice breeding plan function. So, and it'll send you pairing reminders. So I have mine set to remind me once a month to repair.
Look,
It's pretty
Darren's
nice.
here. Hello, Darren.
That's cool. I like that.
Darren has a lot of votes in the 15 minutes of lame so far.
Absolutely.
He's running a good race on day one. Doing good, Darren. He and Reagan Renee's Royal Pythons are neck and neck day one.
I don't know. Like I've seen Husbandry Pro because Dylan has it. I believe Dylan has it. I looked at it on his computer. It was like a year ago, so I'm assuming they probably updated it quite a bit since then.
Yeah, and they're about to release a large update, and I'm not sure when that release date is, but Zach will be able to kind of give us a better release date.
Oh, you want to know the other exciting thing about that date? Craig's going to come on too.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it'll be you and me and Kurt and Craig and Zach.
Cool.
So that'll be a fun one.
And we'll be talking Husbandry Pro.
That's cool. I don't know. Like I've seen it. I don't know. I'm just old and cheap. So
We understand that. We had paid for the membership, and then because we're in Billy's Patreon, we get it for free as part. Well, we get it as part of our membership.
Yeah,
so
it's not free.
It's not free.
It's included.
It's included.
That's
in
the
our
better.
membership.
That's the correct way to say it. It's included.
That's cool.
It is
I
really
know
cool.
that. Yeah.
But we were members before, and then not using it as much, and then when it was part of our membership, then we were like, we should really start
and
figuring this out.
It makes all the difference when you get the label printer to go with it.
Gotta move that.
Yeah,
I mean, I would, if I had it, I would use it. I know me. Like, if I have it, I'm gonna use it.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna get you hooked up, so you have to.
No.
Yep. That's what we're gonna do.
We'll see. I don't know.
We'll figure.
I like.
It's a good excuse to come visit you and see all your
You
snakes.
don't need an excuse. You just come visit.
I know we will.
But that's Puyallup. Puyallup's gonna be fun. Trying to get
Puyallup.
Tucker to come up.
Oh, you got to get Tucker to come up. That would be a lot of fun. Be all reunited again.
Yeah, that would be good. He's family. You know that. Tucker's got a couple good things coming out this year too. So, I want to see more. He's got some beautiful chondros, and he does breed ball pythons too. He's got a few select, but he's got some beautiful chondros. So be sure to see some. I was at his place for the Hillsborough one. He's got some nice stuff. He just has some nice stuff, and he bought a huge order from me of like hide boxes and perches and I also make the perch mounts for the PVC, the half-inch PVC. So I make the perch mounts for the chondros as well. Like he bought a bunch of those. They don't spin, so you can just like snap them right in. And he bought a bunch of those, because he wanted everything in purple. Everything is purple. He's like, I want it all purple. So he cleaned me out. All my purple's gone, and I had to like reorder all the purple. I went through, I don't know how much. He bought a lot, and I gave it to him in 2 separate orders because he ordered a lot. But it's nice. Every time you open it, everything's purple now.
Which is his color. It makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. It came out really nice.
Well, it's about that time for us here, Angel.
Yes,
it's time for you to get back to the kid, make dinner. It's time for us to go clean those ASFs that have somehow managed to open up their water. Yes. It'll be great. We'll send if we decide to ultrasound that feisty snake, we'll make sure to make a video of it for everyone so they can see what happens.
Please do. Please do. And remember, you got sheds. You want to test them? You know where to go.
Got to send them to Charlie. Shedtesting.com.
Shed testing.
And that's also integrated.
Which you can find in Husbandry Pro as well.
Pro.
Really? Look at that. See?
Integration for the win.
Just to say it, ever since I met Ever since I met you people, you changed everything. You changed everything. Now
You
I'm doing a
darn people.
podcast. You got me talking to
know.
people. This is crazy.
It's weird.
How dare
We're
you?
so proud of you,
You're gonna make
Angel.
me all digital and shit now. I gotta throw
Thanks
away
for
the
being in
pen.
our circle.
Oh
Thanks for
my
being
God.
our circle.
I was absorbed. I was absorbed in, and this would happen. And yeah, I'm not complaining. Believe me, it's not a complaint. I need the push to change a bunch of shit anyway, because I get really like stagnant in myself. But
Well, we're happy to be together with you.
but yeah, if anybody's if anybody wants to order anything, just hit me up on Instagram. And again, I do slightly custom orders. I can try to find colors for people. So if you have a specific logo color and it's not any of the dozen colors that I have, I could try to match. It's the best I can do, you know. And so far, I've been really successful. I have a lot of different manufacturers that I get materials from. So I've been pretty good about matching stuff. So just hit me up. I'm always available for questions.
Thanks to the people in the chat for hanging out. If there's anybody you want to see come on and hang out with us.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any topics you want to hear us talk about and ramble on about, drop it in the chat. Send us a message. We're flexible. Plus, you're all in our circle, so
That's right. You send us a
you
message
know how that
anytime. And
works.
again, always open for questions. I've been around a long time. If you guys have questions about the hobby, just let me know.
Absolutely. Angel is a wealth of knowledge. And tomorrow, remember at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. What is that? 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Check out Show Me Your Rack tomorrow here on YouTube on our channel. It ought to be fun. See you next weekend, everybody. Bye.
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 The ups and downs, we stay strong. In your circle, that's where we belong. Lifting each other all day long. In this family, we can't go wrong.